From the Historic Desk, Swedish botanist invents taxonomy based on what plants smell like, immediately regrets it. Linnaeus's aromatic system briefly replaces science with glorified wine tasting. Okay, so picture this. It's the mid-1700s, and everyone's got syphilis and a powdered wig, including one Carl Linnaeus. In our timeline, this Swedish egghead gets a massive hard-on for cataloguing every living thing by counting its floral dicks and cunts, stamens and pistils, for you delicate flowers. But what if instead of being a genital-obsessed weirdo, he was a smell-obsessed weirdo? Welcome, fuckers, to the world where binomial nomenclature got shoved aside for the Systema Odorata, the aromatic system of all creation. Instead of the elegant Latin of Homo sapiens, we'd be cero de flatulentiae post brassicam, the scent of post-cabbage flatulence. The entire project was, according to the apocryphal Letters to a Young Botanist, inspired by a 3-day bender in a Dutch brothel, after which Linnaeus declared, "Every living thing, from the lowest fungus to the King of France, has its own unique funk." He proposed a 7-tiered system of smells: musky, ambrosial, horny, feculent, nauseating, terrifying, and vaguely disappointing. Lions were classed as musky terrifying. Roses were ambrosial horny. His scientific rival, Georges-Louis Leclerc, Comte de Buffon, was personally catalogued as feculent, vaguely disappointing, a sick burn that apparently led to a duel involving perfume atomizers at 20 paces. This, as you can imagine, was a goddamn disaster for empire. The British East India Company would send desperate communiques back from the tropics. "Have found a tree. Our Grand Nasal Officer claims it smells of anxious goat. Is this the cinchona for quinine, or the tree the locals call explosive diarrhea wood?" Entire expeditions were lost because their lead sniffer had a cold that week. The famed naturalist Joseph Banks, upon discovering a new species of acacia in Australia, reportedly described its scent as like a Parisian philosopher's fart after a particularly rich cassoulet, a classification that held for nearly 40 years. The herbariums at Kew became less a centre for science and more a deranged perfumery, with botanists getting absolutely zooted while huffing racks of dried orchids and arguing whether a particular specimen smelled more of sadness or toast. Naturally, the whole stinking enterprise eventually collapsed. A humorless Prussian botanist, probably named something like Günther von Strictanus, pointed out that one man's ambrosial is another man's nauseating, and that you can't build a global empire on vibes. Science, he argued in a terribly dull 900-page treatise, required objectivity, not a good nose and a talent for obscene similes. So the aromatic system was scrapped, but for one brief, glorious moment in history, the pinnacle of scientific achievement wasn't a microscope. It was a dude with a magnificent schnoz taking a deep whiff of a mushroom and declaring, "Yep, that's ghost of a wet gerbil, all right." Filed by Wren, Hothouse, Pemberton, Aoki for Historic.